Welcome to This Explainer. Let's get right into it, because today we're tackling something absolutely essential for anyone trying to navigate our current crazy world. We're talking about how to actually thrive in an era of exponential disruption. We're going to explore how the most successful minds are shifting completely away from just, constantly reacting to fires, and instead they're embracing the massive power of intelligent anticipation. Get ready, because we are absolutely going to change the way you look at future challenges.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to hear this really powerful insight from our source material. Leaders who prepare for tomorrow's storms today don't just survive the future, they design it. This completely flips the script on that obsolete reactive leadership model where you just kind of wait to see what the market or the world does before you make a move. Being passive? Yeah, that's literally no longer an option.
And this brings us to a massive paradigm shift. Preparation is not anxiety. It is intelligent anticipation. We are essentially replacing fear, worry, and that general sense of anxiety with highly strategic foresight. It's not about losing sleep over what might happen. It's about systematically and calmly planning for it.
So, here's our roadmap for the explainer today. We'll kick off with the anticipation advantage, then move into redefining resilience and agility, followed by the Psychotech Leadership instinct. After that, we'll hit cultivating strategic resourcefulness, dive into the future-proof practice framework, and wrap it all up with becoming the lighthouse. It's a highly structured masterclass going from high-level philosophy straight into a tactical blueprint you can use right away.
All right, Part 1, the anticipation advantage, experiencing future challenges today.
Think about historical and business giants for a second. People like Churchill, Jobs, Musk. They never waited for a crisis to validate their ideas, right? They anticipated the major shifts way before anyone else even saw them coming, which brings us to a really vital number, 0. That is exactly how many times truly great leaders wait for a crisis to hit before they build their systems. If you're waiting for everything to break down before you start building your strength, you're already too late. You've got to train before the competition even begins.
Moving on to Part 2. Redefining resilience and agility, bending without breaking. We throw around the buzzword resilience a lot, but honestly, you should think of it more like bamboo. Unlike a brick wall, or maybe your lower back, bamboo bends with aggressive winds, but it never snaps. Old-school toughness is rigid, it's reactive, and it usually leads to total emotional chaos when it finally cracks. But true adaptive strength? That means viewing failures neutrally. It's just data. It's entirely built on regulating your emotions and making meaning out of your setbacks.
Let's look at the ultimate proof of concept for this kind of agility. Netflix. They went from mailing you DVD rentals to streaming video to massive original content production. And they didn't do this by running around in a panic trying to catch up. They used what the source brilliantly calls rehearsed adaptability. They were constantly scanning the environment and running rapid experiments to prepare for industries that, frankly, didn't even exist yet. Which brings us to Part 3, the Psychotech Leadership Instinct, the future leadership DNA.
Now, this is the real secret sauce. It's the absolute fusion of your inner psychological mastery with outer technology. The Psychotech Leadership Instinct is the powerful integration of psychology, meaning your emotional intelligence and resilience, and technology, meaning AI tools and predictive modeling. Because listen, in the AI era, human intuition alone just isn't going to cut it anymore. You absolutely need augmented intuition if you want to forecast trends long before your competitors do.
Failure is feedback. I really want you to take a second and just absorb that. Setbacks are merely strategic rehearsals for future mastery. When you adopt this psychotech mindset, you realize that if you failed today, you haven't lost. You've simply just gathered the exact diagnostic data you need to redesign your strategic focus for tomorrow.
Part 4. Cultivating strategic resourcefulness. Thinking abundance, not scarcity.
So, the crucial point is, when you mentally simulate the future, you take panic and turn it into a structured process. To pull this off, leaders have to institutionalize specific initiatives to kill that reactive bias. You need daily rituals, things like scenario planning and failure premortems, where you actively ask, hey, if this project fails in 12 months, what caused it? You've got to cultivate an AI-driven insight system and your own personal resilience stack, all while diversifying your network, fostering a micro-experiment culture, and actively managing your energy. It's all about making preparation procedural.
All right, Part 5, the future-proof practice framework, making preparation a habit.
So how do we actually turn all this theory into an actionable blueprint? Well, you have to break it down by time frame. Every single day, commit to a 20-minute strategic reflection and an AI-assisted trend scan. Weekly, Take time to review industry signals and honestly evaluate your own skill gaps. Then monthly, run at least one scenario simulation and actively work to upgrade a future-ready skill. And quarterly, audit your systems and launch one innovative experiment. By breaking it down into these manageable chunks, what initially feels like this huge, heavy cognitive load becomes completely automatic. Your brain literally just learns to think long-term by default.
Now, pushing through the friction of future planning demands real discipline. You have to actively delay gratification and challenge your own assumptions. But doing this builds a profound mindset of abundance. When a crisis actually strikes, you don't panic because you already have 5 different rehearsed options ready to deploy. Let's walk through the leadership blueprint for future conditioning. It's a really simple 5-step cycle. 1. Awareness, just accepting that uncertainty is a constant. 2. Anticipation, studying the signals and trends. 3. Simulation, mentally rehearsing your crises and your pivots. 4. Execution, taking small, proactive steps right now. And 5. Reflection, refining your whole strategy through feedback loops. The absolute key here, this cycle never stops. Cultivating this continuous loop leads to what the source boldly calls strategic immortality in leadership. Finally, Part 6, Becoming the Lighthouse. Calm Architects of Destiny. This brings us right to the climax of today's explainer. When you prepare with this level of discipline, you literally become a lighthouse for your organization. You provide immense stability for your team, effortlessly converting extreme external pressure into your own strategic advantage. As our source notes, the future does not shock prepared leaders, it rewards them. Let that sink in. You aren't just trying to survive disruption anymore. You are structurally designed to benefit from it. Which leaves us with one final provocative question. Are you just reacting to today's disruptions? Or are you actively designing tomorrow's direction? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Take these frameworks, start your intelligent anticipation today, and I'll see you next time.